And believe me, if you got less than an 80 and you were called to that, by the time they got to you, you were sweating, you were red-faced, you grew pimples on your face in the 3 minutes it took for you to get up to that room. And you know what he said? Well, you didn't do too well, did you, this time with a 68? Where was your mind? Up your behind? You know, and he'd go on, he'd lace into you. And let me tell you something. When he got through with you, you didn't want to get a 68 on the next exam. You studied harder. But today, they'd arrest him for student abuse. I'll be right back.
Don't make a difficult time tougher. If your inheritance is stuck in probate, we can advance you the cash you need in as little as 72 hours. Visit inheritancefunding.com or call 877-YOU-AIR. That's 877-YOU-HEIR.
These guys are so hilarious. I almost drive off the road every morning.
Armstrong and Getty. Weekday morning, 6 to 10. Talk 910 KNEW.
Look at him sway with it. Get so gay with it. Shout no lay with it. Wow. Papa loves mama.
Come on, Phil, knock it off. It sounds like the assisted living hour out of Fort Lauderdale. You can't do this to my demographic. Don't play that music. You know, it's gonna kill the younger listeners. They don't want to hear that Dean Martin, Perry Como stuff. You know. And now live direct from Fort Lauderdale, it's the assisted living hour. What's this one you put? Oh, come on, man. No, stop it. You can't do it. Phil, cut it out. The assisted living hour for Fort Lauderdale is not this show. Okay, stop it. It's enough fun you've had. Los Angeles, Mark, KGIL, go ahead, please.
I have many memories of the Fontainebleau Hotel, having been there hundreds of times, gone to school in Miami. My dad was a personal friend of Ben Novak.
Now, was he a friend of the senior or the junior?
The senior. And I never met him. 58, my dad's 82, and I just remember that the senior was a cab driver originally. I remember my dad always telling me the story of how he started out with nothing as a self-made man.
But how did this guy who was a cab driver build the Fontainebleau Hotel in 1954, which was, you know, at that time, building a hotel of that size was unheard of?
I don't know. I think there might have been some mob connections, but I'm not 100% sure. I remember. Do you happen to remember the name of the bar there?
I was never there. I mean, I have very vague memories of Miami. I must tell my audience. I remember, okay, New York kid, blah, blah, blah. The first time I went to Miami, we went, 4 of us, 6 of us in a car. We drove day and night from New York, eating in the car, sleeping in the car nonstop. So you're talking 1,500 miles. I don't know how long would that take at an average of 50, 60 miles an hour in those days. What would that be, a day and a half, 2 days?
Miami.
Well, when I got to Florida, I had never felt soft, warm air before. I remember to this day the feeling of going to Collins Avenue from New York City and feeling warm air in my sleeves in the winter. I thought I had stepped into heaven at that time. And I heard, you hear Cuban music coming in from Cuba on the radio. It was like heaven itself. So I had very good memories of Miami in those days. It was a lot of fun. We were young. You know, you felt you were immortal. Nothing could go wrong. You stayed up all night. You partied all night. It was a wonderful experience. But believe me, I didn't.
I stayed with my grandparents, but we used to, as kids, we used to go up and down Collins Avenue, all the fancy hotels looking for girls. This is when we were 14, 15 years old. We'd hang out at the Fontainebleau in the lobby looking for girls on vacation.
So you have positive memories of that era.
Oh, it's fantastic. This was I was born in 51, so this was in the 60s. It was the hotel, and all the kids would hang out in the lobby. They'd come down with their parents, and we looked for girls nonstop. That was the place to go.
And now that you're in Los Angeles, you don't do that anymore?
I haven't been to Miami. Well, I went to the University of Miami as an undergraduate.
No, I'm saying you don't look for girls anymore in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I do that too. That's why I'm.
I mean, you talk about beautiful women. Everyone knows that Los Angeles has a collection of the most beautiful women in America. Everybody knows that.
No doubt about it.
There's no doubt about it. The most beautiful women in America who are unattached and can do it go there. Unfortunately, their beauty is a thing of fleeting. It's fleeting, but there's a lot of people waiting to help them fly it away. Come fly with me, whatever. Play whatever. I'm going to have an easy day today. I'm not eating my heart out about the coming communism. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. Miami, Laura, you're on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Yes, during the late 1960s, there was an illegal casino that would move from floor to floor just ahead of the feds busting it at the Fontainebleau. And one of my roommates in college went with a person who was from one of the best families in Miami. And this was the way that the people avoided having to take the chalk flights over to the Bahamas to gamble. They could go there and gamble. But then it was discontinued after a while.
Interesting. Interesting. The secret casino. Never heard about the secret casino. Here's a guy who worked at the Fontainebleau. Rick in Las Vegas, welcome to the program. You worked there when?
Yeah, for the previous caller, the name of the bar in the lobby of the Fontainebleau was the Poodle Lounge. And
oh, my God. Teddy would have been at home in the Poodle Lounge.
Well, Don King was there every day. I worked during the strike in 1978. I think one of the reasons Ben Novak, by the way, his son Benji was my boss. That's what they called him, Benji. I think one of the reasons he declared bankruptcy was to get rid of the union in the hotel because that hotel was still crowded. I made money hand over fist.
What'd you do in the hotel, Rick?
Well, I was a bartender.
Oh, my God. People threw good tips?
Which was the big showroom there.
Let me ask, this is curious for me, a piece of history. What era did you work? What years?
At the Fontainebleau from 77 to 79.
All right, let's say, what was an average drink, a cocktail in those days? What did it cost?
75 cents.
And what would people leave as a tip?
Don King and his 10 bevies that he had around him was sometimes $5.
No, but let's say a person came and ordered a drink for 75 cents. They leave a quarter. They put $1 down?
Usually at the Poodle Lounge, it was more than that. Because that was the bar on the beach.
What, more? They put down more than a quarter, tip?
Yeah, usually.
So you'd get more than a 33% tip on a drink. I'm trying to figure out percentage what people gave.
Hi, it's Roger Hitchcock coming up at 7 on Talk 910 KNEW. Right now, Michael Savage.
It is the Savage Nation. We're not doing hard politics today. I mean, there are stories that will blow your brains out. MIT grad named Iran's nuke chief. You hear this? President Hitler has appointed a new chief for Iran's nuclear program, and he went to MIT. See, when they come to our country, they learn everything they can, and they go home and they try to kill us. Isn't that a wonderful thing? America's streets are paved with yolds. America's streets are paved with yolds, not with gold. Obama's secret dinner with leftist historians. He had a secret White House dinner last month. All the historians invited were known for their leftist outlook on history. You didn't read that in your local paper. So you see, why am I not doing politics? Because it's too painful. It's too painful. I've already paid a high price by being banned in Britain. You say, well, big deal. You're making a big thing of it. What did it actually do to you? Let me tell you something. It's been the most wearing thing in my life because once they put you on a list like this, you don't know what's going to come next from your own country. And I believe there's a conspiracy emanating from America's State Department, and they're trying to set me up first in order to do something to me next. And I believe that I'm the first, that I'm the canary in the mine. And it's just a damn shame that others in the media don't understand the danger that they are in for ignoring my plight. Okay, but I'm no baby. I got myself into it by being outspoken. I'll get myself out of it by being outspoken. I'm not crying about it. I got myself into this position, and I'm going to get myself out of it. So if you've contributed to the Savage Legal Fund, thank you very much. I count on you. And we'll let you know what's happened. So far, nothing's happened, to be honest with you. With all the money and all the wheels spinning, nothing. We'll see where it goes. Las Vegas, Lynn, you're on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much for being as outspoken as you are and honest and not taking any of the Kool-Aid that so many others have. And you're honestly one of the last honest voices on the airwaves anywhere in the media, and we appreciate it.
Well, Lynn, there are many men and women like me in America. They're just not in the media, because by the time you rise to a certain position in the media, you've already had your feathers, smoothed out, and they've been wired to your body at a certain point. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do in Las Vegas? What business are you in?
I'm a stay-at-home mom now. I used to be a UPS driver.
Good for you. And I thank you for listening to the Savage Nation. It means a lot. San Fran, wait, hold it. We're going to go to that in a minute. Tell Robert to hold on line 8 because that's a good call. Jimmy in Houston is next up. Go ahead, please.
Hello. You were talking about the Fontainebleau. When I was 12 years old, I went to Florida with family, and that Art Deco, we were all riding around, and we ate dinner there at the Fontainebleau, and I was 12 years old. The first time I ever ate cordon bleu, and this guy came walking out. I think they gambled in the back, and they said, "That's Jackie Gleason," and he walked over, and we shook his hand, and then this other guy came out, and it was William Boyd. I said, and we shook his hand. I said, "What's going on here?" And, you know, I was kind of impressed at 12 years old to shake Hoplo and Cassidy's hand, and the waiter, the garçon, was holding up 5 $100 bills in his hand. He said Jackie left him a $500 tip, and he said that's the second time he had done that. And Isn't
that amazing? You know, $500 today is a fortune, but